Guten Morgen, everybody, or whatever time of day it is. Welcome to episode 24 of the Heart of Markness podcast. I'm Mark, and let's go. I realize I've done this. I made a promise to myself and to you, my listeners, to crank these out once a week, diligently, professionally, so that I don't lose steam like I did before and just disappear for months and months because I'm like, fuck the podcast. And I'm glad I'm doing it. It makes me very happy, and I hope it makes you happy. And, okay, show and tell's over. And I imagine you're wondering, Mark, what are we going to be listening to this week besides your crazy street preacher rantings? Well, aside from my crazy street preacher rantings or ravings, we're going to be listening to some early Led Zeppelin. Last week we did Jimmy Page and Aerosmith, and I promised we'd be diving back in with the meat of the meat and potatoes on the menu. So, I'm also scratching and moving around, and my microphone is super sensitive, so I'm sorry. And there's also a fan on, so that's what's going on too. Why don't I turn the fan off? Well, you see, it's over there, and I'm here, so my hands are tied. So, apologies for the, let's pretend I'm on an airplane. Let's pretend I'm someone very important. That's right. Take a letter, Toots. To Mr. C.M. Rockefeller from Heart of Markness regarding acquisition of oil fields. I'm starting this one late at night on Wednesday instead of doing it on Thursday night. Usually I pick the music on Wednesday and what tracks I want to do, etc. And I try and find the best source of those that I can. And that I did that tonight, and it's like it's after 9 o'clock now, and I am fairly relaxed and socially lubricated with the legal recreational purchases I've made in the fine state of Oregon. So I'm a little wobbly, but I feel like I'm having fun, and hopefully this is entertaining to some of you. But all right, cutting to the chase. We are going to be talking on this episode 24 of the Heart of Markness podcast about the concert on January 5th, 1969 at the fabulous Fillmore. Which Fillmore? The one in New York or the one in San Francisco? I don't know. Again, my notes are over there. At the Fillmore. Make of it what you will. It was not in Bali or Detroit, I can tell you that. So, January 5th, 1969. I'll paint you a picture. It's cold because it's January. It must be in California because on New Year's Eve, 68, they were in Washington playing Gonzaga. So just a few days later, they were not on jets yet. They were like literally in like a van in a rented station wagon, and they drove themselves. They were opening act. They were plus others on the billing at this point. So, they were not living the jet set lifestyle. They were young and hungry, and literally. So, yeah, it would be 6 days after Gonzaga or 5 days after Gonzaga. Yeah, it was California, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, they were an opening band. I don't know who they were opening for at this show. Iron Butterfly, Vanilla Fudge, somebody like that. And the only cachet they had was Jimmy being from the Yardbirds. Other than that, they were complete unknowns. So, that's not nothing, but it's not like nobody came to this show to see them. Nobody. They came to see whoever, because, they were last on the billing of those big psychedelic 60s things where it's like the headliner is, The Doors, opening for them, Steve Miller Band, and then Savoy Brown, and then, Blind Willie Mickeldickle, and then Led Zeppelin, spelled like Leaf Zeppelin because nobody knew who they were. or just and supporting act. So nobody is coming to see these guys. They are the very first on the stage. When they walk on stage, Robert's doing the, okay, 1 2 1 2 check check stuff, because they didn't have sound guys. They didn't have a road crew. They had like Richard Cole, Peter Grant, maybe another dude or two. No, probably not. And just them loading their shit in and out of the vans. They were young and hungry. So it's gonna sound like a young and hungry band. It's a soundboard recording, so that's really good. It is a bit overloaded, and I think that's from the source tape. Every source I can find is still a little distorted and overloaded. Probably because whoever was recording the board tape, and I believe Bill Graham recorded every show, which is great if we could get a hold of those. And some of them are available on Wolfgang's Vault, but the Zeppelin shows are not. Anyways, digression after digression. Sorry, bear with me. If this is terrible, I'll just re-record it tomorrow. The quality is good, but overloaded in places. The band, the same thing. Very, very good, overloaded in places. They occasionally kind of go off the rails. You can't really tell. It's not shameful, but they're not locked in. If you remember listening to the last Fillmore episode I did, episode 12 or 16, I can't remember which. That was in April 27th. So 3.5 months later, they played the same venue, and this time I believe they were the headliner, and it was a tighter show, but they were still loose and raw. This is loose and raw, like bucking Broncos out of the gate. Bonzo is crazy. Sometimes he goes off the rails. He's not locked in tight yet. Most of the time, he's amazing. Jimmy is he's sounding a lot like Jimmy from the Yardbirds, being more bluesy than Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. There's nothing wrong with that. It's really, really cool. Jonesy is, of course, Jonesy. And Robert is unbelievable. His voice is unbelievable. It's not controlled. There are times when it goes wild, but what a powerhouse. What a powerhouse of a voice. So we're going to listen to 3 songs from this amazing show when they're the opening act and nobody came to see them. And it's like they're introduced, and it's literally like from like one polite person. And it's neat to hear. We're going to listen to their opening track for this show, which is As Long As I Have You, which I apologize. It's on the prior Fillmore show we were just talking about, the one from April. I also played this song, so it's obviously another performance of this song, but it's different enough that I want you to hear it. And it's interesting as the very first. I mean, this is before Zeppelin 1 was even out. They didn't have an album. They didn't have a single. They were just a band coming out and just blowing the doors off the audience as much as they could, and they did. So I want you to hear this. It's long. It's like 12 minutes long because it's very psychedelic. But it is tight in ways. It is unbelievably powerful. Bonham is at his most bombastic. I just think of a bull. A young bull just full of power and strength and virility. It's just raw fucking. But not smooth like Marvin Gaye, but just more pan than Eros. So take a listen. I hope you like it a lot. I like it a lot, and I hope you'll be impressed. As Long As I Have You, fiery young opening act, Led Zeppelin. There's a little bit of talk and stuff because it's literally from the time they walk on the stage to when they start. So there's like a minute build up of just fucking around and Robert talking. But I want you to get a feel for it because it's really interesting and really cool. Here we go. Enjoy.
1, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, okay. We're going to finish off, or shall we say, this is the last night from Led Zeppelin. So here we go. quote as long as I have you.
Well, it was awesome, huh? It was awesome in a not particularly Led Zeppelin way in ways. I mean, it was very still bubbling out of the caldera, as it were. Um, I like it. It was very, very powerful. I love Bonham's just confidence and, oh, I can't think of the word, but very, very kinetic, very, very restless, and oh, it's so good. It's so good. And Jimmy's playing in ways that he moved away from. I mean, it's the Telecaster, obviously, and when he moved to the Les Paul, I mean, that's when it was that's when it was in. But I don't know. I noticed some differences in the phrasing he chooses and the method in which he plays and the mood he conveys and even some of the licks that makes it refreshing to hear. I didn't really listen to the early stuff because for a long, long time I didn't care about the blues jams that much, and I didn't care about How Many More Times and Dazed and Confused, which is kind of heresy. But even now, I mean, I thought about playing Dazed and Confused from this, but it's like, maybe. I will play. I mean, I think when I play Dazed and Confused, it's going to be one of the epic 8 million year long ones from the 73 spring 73 European tour, which was, I mean, kind of acknowledged as the musical peak of Zeppelin. At that point, Robert's voice had gone, so he was not really, at his peak any longer. But musically, listening to the Dazed and Confused from the European 73 tour, it's unbelievably intense, unbelievably fast and furious and tight and complex and just powerhouse. So, when I do play a Dazed and Confused for you guys, it'll probably be one of those. Anyway, let's get back to January 5th, 1969, shall we? Did you notice that it's different with the audience? I mean, juxtaposed with some like the shows from 70, where Robert has the audience. It's almost like it's like a religious experience, communion. Thousands and thousands of people, to just dozens of people there, and politely listening. They were entertained for sure, and as it went on, they were won over more and more. But it's just neat to just have them be like just the guys at the very, very front of the stage, because there's like 3 other bands shit behind them, or just doing their own sound, check, because who's gonna? They don't have a sound guy. It's fascinating, and I know some of you guys enjoy this too, which is why I do it. But I like hearing the evolution of the band through time, and how they changed and morphed, and kind of modified their stats in ways so that in the later years they were bombastic and shambolic in ways, but just an unbelievable, like, monstrous pyroclastic flow of force. And here they're explosive. They're brand new. They're coming out with the express purpose of, hey, we're Led Zeppelin. We're amazing. Listen to us, like us, follow us, buy our album when it comes out, tell your friends. And they toured relentlessly, and over that time they got tighter and tighter and gelled more and more. But this is just fresh out of the gate. Landed a week ago and have just been gigging all around. I think it was Denver to Gonzaga University, Tacoma, Portland, and then I think down to California. So they're brand spanking new, and you can hear it. And it's just, I mean, they're boys. They're 21 years old. That's crazy. And they're going from like, hello, We would like you to like us, please, to, I am a golden god. And they earned it. So, la 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 la. How about another song, Mark? How about another song indeed? I'm going to play Train Kept A Rollin' because I kind of shit on it last episode. I like it. This is a good version. And it's also the Hey, We're the Yardbirds version, kind of. So, dig it. And instead of opening the show with it, it was their third number. Or at least it's the third in all the recordings I have. So, Train Kept A Rollin'. Led Zeppelin, Heart of Darkness. Enjoy.
From Johnny Bennett. It's called The Train.
Nice, right? I like it. It was a different way than they played later on. So I enjoyed it. It had some fun. Some fun. And, of course, fun. So this is going to be a long podcast because I'm stoned and I'm rambling. So I'm going to truncate this section and move right along into our final song, which is the whole reason I wanted to do this show. Is they closed the show. I think they closed the show, or their set. Because don't forget, they were opening with a Yardbird song, For Your Love, For Your Love. But they do it their way, and it's fucking amazing. It goes off the rails a little bit with Bonzo, because he's not quite locked in with everybody yet. They're not all gelled together like that. And sometimes somebody goes right and the other people go left. Again, maybe you guys don't even hear it, but it's fine. It's not a criticism. It's adorable. They're like puppies running on the floor, and just when they're running on the kitchen floor and they're like bam. It's fun. It's adorable. Yes, I just said Led Zeppelin were puppies when they're like this massive mastodonic force. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So, I'm also going to sneeze. So here we go. Last one of the night. I'll be back though, unless I forget like I do and then I'm just gone. Like Papa. So, For Your Love, Led Zeppelin, fucking amazing. January 5th, opening act. Heart of Markness.
that was called For Your Love. Remember Pete? There's nothing more I can say except for we're going to have to retire back to bedrooms and things again now. So, good night. God bless. See you again. Don't forget the album. Good night from Led Zeppelin.
And we're back. Wasn't that badass? I love that. I had a friend of mine. I had posted the YouTube rip of this on my Facebook, months, if not years ago. And a good friend of mine, actually the guy who features in a lot of my stories of concerts I went to, messaged me or replied to the video and was like, hey, I think that's really slowed down because For Your Love is usually played in the key of and it's usually played da-da-da and it sounds super slow. And I'm like, it does sound super slow, but every copy of this show plays at this pitch, and Zeppelin wanted it this way. They wanted it to be plodding and powerful, and it is. It's a whole different take on it, and it's so fucking cool, and I love it. I think it's completely badass. I wish they played it longer. I wish there were more recordings of it, not just from the beginning, although I understand. I mean, they were dropping away the things that were not Led Zeppelin as they gelled and became Led Zeppelin, and I mean, on this constant 1969 tour, not this part, but the latter part, they started recording Led Zeppelin 2 while on the road. They would do powerhouse gigs and then go into a studio and just create an amazing fucking album. So there you have it, January 5th, 1969. If you noticed, I've started putting links up to the shows, as I said I've been doing for the last 2 years. I started doing it again. The last episode, there's a legit web page, a blog entry for that show, where I link to the video of the show and the video of the rehearsal of the show, a picture from the show, a little more text, and a link to the entire Jimmy and Aerosmith jam. And that's the same thing I'm going to be doing with this show. I'm going to post this tonight, unless it sounds like garbage on the playthrough, which it might, because I'm pretty stoned. But I'll post the show tonight, most likely. Tonight being Wednesday night, a day early, because I love you. And then tomorrow, that'll leave me free to create the website entry for this show, wherein I can include a link to it, maybe pictures from it, and a little more information as to, who are they opening for, and I don't know what color pants Jimmy was wearing. Were they the velvet ones? I don't know. Maybe we'll all find out together. Or maybe there's no pictures from this gig, because they were fucking nobodies then. We shall see. In any case, follow me on Twitter, Heart of Markness. Please do. And more and more of you are joining the Facebook group, and that's rad. And I realize that I'm not getting much traction on Twitter, because Twitter is for younger folks, and everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody. Unlike the pie chart, it's very, very Pac-Man, with Pac-Man's mouth not open wide at all. And the Pac-Man part of the pie chart are people like 45 to 70. And overwhelmingly male, which is great. So let's talk about women. So that's why you're on Facebook, because you're Generation X and older. So I will put more love into the Facebook page. Quite a few joined. I think we had like a half dozen join the Facebook group. So hop on, Heart of Markness Facebook group. Let's make something happen. And if you join, say howdy, because I don't say hi to you. I accept your membership, and usually I'm at work because I'm diligent. Or I just accept it, and I don't want to be like, hi, everybody, say hello to Alejandro. But maybe I will, because people do that, and it is welcoming. And, I should start doing that, because if I'm going to have a community, then we must commune. So, excellent. I'll take the next step on becoming a horrible, horrible cult leader asking for your money and your women. Just followed that path in my head and said, that's not that bad. It'll be a short ride, but it'll be fun. And then they'll make a Netflix documentary about you. Oh, and I gave more money. Hey. All right. Let's put a pin in that one. So, yes, Heart of Markness at Twitter. Heart of Markness on Facebook. Follow me, join me. And heartofmarkness.com, which, as I've been talking about, I'm going to put blog posts up there for each episode where you'll be able to play the episode. It'll be embedded. You'll be able to see, if I can find one, at least one picture from the show or whatever tour I'm talking about, as well as the show itself that you can download and listen to the whole goddamn thing, not just the tracks I picked. You will have the power. So yeah, I think that's it. We're coming up on 47 minutes. Sorry guys, this was a long one. I'm a little chatty tonight. So, thank you very much. Thank you for your comments. A few actually, between Facebook and Twitter, people started, dropping quotes from my podcasts in, and it made me smile because, first of all, I like it. It shows that I made you laugh, or made that human laugh, over something I said, and it's not just, waiting with rolled eyes and maybe eating a Danish, waiting for the music to start. Although some of you, I understand that. You're not here to follow me. You're here to listen to Led Zeppelin. So, in any case, it warms my heart to know people listen to this, and there's more and more every week. And I hope it makes you laugh. I hope it makes you smile. I hope it makes you really, really happy. And I hope it makes you enjoy Led Zeppelin again. If you, lost the spark, or for the first time, if you're like, holy shit, who knew? Well, now you know. Now you know. All right. Thank you guys. Love you. Talk to you next week. Adios.